All right, ready to dive in. Today, we're tackling project management. We're dissecting this article. It's called What is Project Management? The Definitive Guide to Gain Expertise in 5 minutes. 5 minutes, huh? We'll see about that, but we're going to break it down, what it is, the importance, and we might even get into different methodologies and certifications.
Sounds good. Let's jump in.
So the article starts off pretty strong. It says projects are basically the backbone of how our economy works today. When you think about it, everything, the apps, the bridges, it's all projects.
Absolutely. And the interesting thing is, whether it's massive like infrastructure or small, like just getting a new phone, you're using project management.
They use this example, Ted, he's a telecom engineer.
Yeah.
And he's getting a new smartphone for his mom, which I thought was a nice way to bring it down to earth.
Yeah, it's a great example. And it shows both sides of project management, the art and the science.
Ooh, I like that. Art and science, break that down.
Well, the art is like those soft skills, communication, planning, understanding the needs. So in this case, Ted needs to know what kind of phone his mom wants, what she'll use it for, her budget. And the science is the research, comparing models, making sure it fits the budget and needs.
So even without knowing it, Ted's already going through those early project phases. He's initiating the project by understanding the need. Then he's planning by researching and comparing options.
Exactly. Then he moves on to execution, actually buying the phone, tracking the shipment. He even has a little hiccup when the delivery address is wrong. That's the monitoring and controlling phase kicking in.
That's like every online shopping experience I have.
For sure. And finally, he closes the project. He sets up the phone, installs apps, maybe even teaches his mom how to use some things. He makes sure the project delivered on the promise.
Accidental project manager, that Ted. Okay, but that's a personal example.
Yeah.
The article gets into more formal definitions, right? From like PMI, the Project Management Institute, and other organizations.
It does. And they all boil down to some key ideas. A project is temporary, it has a clear start and end, and it makes something unique. This is how we know it's different from operations, which are ongoing, repetitive activities. Think about your own work. Can you tell the difference between a project you worked on and just regular operations?
That's a really good distinction, and that makes sense because, well, project management is all about planning, organizing, managing resources, all to reach that specific goal, just like Ted getting the right phone for his mom.
Exactly. But here's where things get a little tricky. Imagine Ted's boss says, okay, now buy smartphones for 10,000 employees. Suddenly, Ted's intuition might not be enough. This is where PMI and that framework becomes super valuable.
So Ted's gone from personal project hero to, like, corporate project manager. Why does he need PMI now?
Well, PMI, that's the Project Management Institute. It's like the rule book for project management. They give you standards, best practices, and a whole community of professionals. Let's say Ted needs to make a timeline for this huge phone rollout. PMI gives some templates and best practices for that. He won't miss important steps like security checks or wiping the old phones, and he can make sure the new phones arrive before Christmas.
So it's not just about buying phones in bulk, it's about doing it right, especially with so much at stake.
Exactly. And PMI outlines those 5 core processes: initiating, planning, executing, monitoring and controlling, and closing, just like Ted did naturally, but now it's much bigger.
Those 5 core processes, it sounds formal, but remember, Ted already did all that with his mom's phone. PMI just helps you do it even better, especially when things are more complex. Let's break down each stage.
Okay, so the first stage is initiation. That's where you clearly define the project and its goals, like why are we doing this? What do we want to achieve? Then, in the planning phase, we map out the how, the details. Timelines, budgets, resources, risk assessments. It's like a roadmap.
So initiation sets the destination, and planning figures out the route.
Exactly. Then comes execution. This is where the work happens. Putting the plan in motion, managing the team, coordinating everything.
This is where I imagine even seasoned project managers can run into trouble.
Oh, yeah. That's why the next phase, monitoring and controlling, is so crucial. You're keeping an eye on progress, catching any deviations, and getting things back on track.
So it's like a GPS for your project?
Exactly. And finally, we have the closing phase. This is when we formally finish the project, document what we learned, celebrate the wins.
So it's not just about finishing, it's about reflecting and taking those lessons forward.
Precisely. Now, you might be thinking, Ted nailed that one phone project. Isn't he a pro now?
Right. One phone, 10,000 phones. What's the difference?
Well, that's where the article brings up project management methodologies. It's not one size fits all. Different projects, different teams, different organizations, they all need different approaches, and choosing the right one can make all the difference.
So it's not just about the steps, it's about the right tools for the job.
Exactly. It's like You wouldn't use a hammer to screw in a light bulb, you'd use a screwdriver.
Okay, I see what you mean.
And in project management, there are tons of screwdrivers. The article talks about this framework, the 4 Ps. It's a way to think about any project: people, product, process, and project.
Okay, break down the 4 Ps for me. How would they help Ted with those 10,000 phones?
All right, first you have people. That's Ted's team,
Mm-hmm.
the ones handling the phones, IT support, maybe even the communications team to keep everyone updated. Even with a great plan, you need the right people in the right roles.
You need a good crew for the ship.
Then there's product. Here, it's straightforward. It's the 10,000 smartphones. But it's also the setup process, the app security, the whole package.
So it's not just the physical thing, it's everything involved.
Exactly. Then we have process. This is where those methodologies come in. Will Ted's team use waterfall, where everything's sequential, step by step? Or will they go with agile, where they work in bursts, adapt as they go? This depends on how complex the project is and the organization's culture.
So process is choosing the right project management playbook.
Exactly. And finally, project. This is where Ted, the project manager, uses everything he's learned from PMI. Planning the timeline, managing the budget, communicating, mitigating risks, all of it.
It's bringing it all together, the people, the product, the process, and using the best techniques to make it work.
Precisely. And to choose the right process, to manage it well, we need to understand some of those popular methodologies. Agile, Scrum, Kanban, Waterfall. We'll dig into those next.
Okay, bring on the methodologies. Agile, Scrum, Kanban, Waterfall. Okay, I'm already feeling overwhelmed. Help me out here. What are these project management methodologies all about?
I hear you. It's like a whole new language. Think of it like different approaches to cooking. You might use a slow cooker for a stew, a grill for kebabs, or the oven for a souffle. Different methods, but each one's tailored to what you're making.
Okay, so different recipes for different projects. Give me the rundown. What are these popular methodologies?
Let's start with Waterfall, the classic. It's sequential, like following a recipe step by step. You finish one phase completely before moving to the next, like you plan, design, develop, test, and then finally deploy.
So very structured, linear.
Exactly. Works well when you know exactly what you need up front, and things don't change much. Like building a house, you wouldn't want to change the foundation halfway through.
That makes sense. But you mentioned Agile. I hear that one a lot these days.
Agile is all about flexibility, adapting as you go. It's like cooking a big meal with a group, tasting and adjusting along the way. You break the project into smaller chunks called sprints, and there's constant feedback. You embrace change and make adjustments.
So if Waterfall is a 5-course meal, Agile is more like a potluck. Everyone contributes, and you make it work.
I like that analogy. And within Agile, you have Scrum and Kanban.
Okay, tell me more about those.
Scrum is like having a head chef, the Scrum Master. They guide the team through those sprints, make sure everyone's working together. It's great for complex projects where you need collaboration and constant reassessment.
So a project manager who's also like a coach, keeping everyone motivated.
Exactly. Now, Kanban is different. Imagine a big whiteboard with sticky notes for tasks. Each note moves across the board from to do, to doing, to done. You can see the workflow and where things get stuck.
So more visual, flexible, you see the big picture and adapt as needed, like a giant to-do list, but for a whole team.
Precisely. Kanban is good for projects with a continuous flow of tasks, things you can break down and visualize.
So many different approaches. It really depends on the project, the team, the organization.
Absolutely. That's where a good project manager comes in. They need to understand these methodologies and choose the right one. But the cool thing is, project management isn't just for big companies. It's relevant to your everyday life, too.
Okay, bring it back to me, the average person. How can I use project management in my personal life?
The article makes a good point. Project management isn't just jargon or software. It's a way of thinking. It's about bringing order to chaos and getting things done no matter what you're working on.
So taking those core concepts, planning, organizing, managing resources, and applying them to anything, like planning a trip or cleaning out that closet.
Exactly. Think about it. Haven't you ever started something with good intentions and then gotten totally lost in the details?
Oh, all the time. I'm the queen of starting projects and getting overwhelmed halfway through.
We've all been there. But even a basic understanding of project management can help. It breaks down a big task into smaller steps, like those sprints in Agile.
Right, so instead of the whole mountain, I focus on climbing one section at a time.
Exactly. And you can set realistic goals. Use your time and resources well. Track your progress. Stay motivated.
Turn that feeling of overwhelm into control, accomplishment.
Exactly. It's empowering, whatever you're doing.
And the article talks about the benefits of good project management. How do those apply to someone like me, not running a huge company project?
Well, first, it helps you stay focused on your goals. Remember initiation. Being clear about what you're doing and why. No more starting something and forgetting what you were even aiming for.
Oh, I do that all the time. Easy to get sidetracked without a clear vision.
Right. Project management keeps you on track. It also helps with having good processes and staying on top of things. You're not just winging it. You have a plan. You're watching your progress.
So working smarter, not harder.
Exactly. And it makes sure everyone's communicating. Everyone knows what's happening, what they need to do, what the deadlines are. No more last-minute chaos or misunderstandings.
That makes sense even for something like planning a family vacation. It's not just booking flights and hotels. It's making sure everyone's on the same page about the itinerary.
Absolutely. And it goes further. Good project management means better quality control. You're more likely to get a good result, whether it's a meal, an event, or even just a renovated room.
Quality over chaos. I like it.
And it can help you save money. You use your resources well and avoid expensive mistakes.
So, saving time, effort, and money. Project management sounds like a superpower.
It can be. And here's another benefit I think you'll appreciate. Proactive risk management.
Okay, what's that?
Every project has risks. Things happen. But project management helps you see those problems coming and have a plan to deal with them.
So being prepared for those curveballs.
Exactly. Like having a backup plan so you don't get thrown off completely.
Yeah.
And finally, one of the most valuable benefits, learning from what you do. By documenting your process, tracking how it goes, analyzing the results, you can figure out what worked well and what to do better next time.
Turn those experiences, even the bad ones, into lessons.
Precisely. And those lessons can make you a better project manager in all parts of your life.
Okay, I'm starting to see how this can really help, even outside of those big projects. But the article doesn't just teach us, right? It leaves us with something to think about.
It does. It asks a question that challenges us to think about what we're facing in our own lives and how even basic project management can make a difference.
All right, hit me with the question.
It asks, what type of project, big or small, are you facing in your own life where applying even basic project management principles could make a difference?
Ooh, that's a good one. It makes you think about how you approach things. Are you setting yourself up for success or maybe for frustration?
Exactly. It reminds us that project management isn't just tools and techniques, it's a way of thinking.
It's about facing challenges in a structured, organized, strategic way, whether you're starting a business, planning a party, or just trying to get your life together.
Exactly. And those skills can be so helpful no matter what you're trying to do. So what project comes to mind for you?
Honestly, that question about using project management in my own life, it got me thinking. I've been putting off reorganizing my home office for, like, forever. It's this disaster of paper and cords and just stuff. Every time I think about it, I get overwhelmed and close the door.
That's the perfect example. And I bet a lot of people feel that way. But imagine how even a little bit of project management could change that whole experience.
Okay, I'm listening. How would that work?
You'd start with that initiation phase, remember? Defining your goal. What do you want your office to look like? What needs to be different?
Okay, so instead of just saying clean my office, which is vague and scary, I'd say something like create a workspace that's functional and inspiring where I can focus and be productive.
Exactly. Now you have a clear target. Then you break it down, smaller tasks, sorting papers, decluttering the desk, organizing the bookshelves.
Right, and I could even set deadlines for each task so I don't spend too long on one thing.
Exactly. That's planning in action. And think about the resources you need. Storage bins, a label maker, maybe just some uninterrupted time.
Wow, just talking about it like this makes it feel less overwhelming. It's like I'm actually in control.
That's what project management does. It takes you from feeling overwhelmed to feeling empowered. Who knows, you might even enjoy it, or at least feel really good when it's done.
Yeah, that sense of accomplishment would be great. And it makes me think, even if our listeners aren't tackling a home office, there's probably something in their lives that could use a little project management boost.
Definitely. Maybe it's planning a trip, organizing an event, or finally reading that stack of books. Whatever it is, think about how those principles can help you reach your goals.
So listeners, what project have you been putting off? What's that goal you're ready to achieve? How could breaking it down, setting deadlines, and getting what you need make a difference? We challenge you, take that first step and use what you've learned today.
And let us know how it goes. Share your project challenges or what you've learned in the comments. Let's be a community of learners, helping each other reach our goals, no matter how big or small.
That's it for this deep dive into project management. We hope you found it helpful, maybe even a little inspiring. Until next time, happy projecting.